Oh, wow.
Oh, another batch of players.
All right, so 283 players now, and I mentioned it before starting the stream, or before making the phone call here, that at least I am estimating that the server may perform better now than it did earlier, because we've got a lot of players from the East Coast now who are connecting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So hopefully if most of the players connecting are East Coast only, we should see the game perform better than with a whole bunch of people on both sides of the ocean. Yeah. That's the plan anyway.
And also, since we're starting again, the map is still quite small, so we don't have to, like, the map upload side isn't so big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if we're gonna break a record, it's gonna be now. As the map will get bigger, I will start limiting the number of players until it's playable.
Right.
So now is your time to join.
Yeah, if you want to make it, you need to get in now, because the thing is, I think once you've been a player connected to the map, does it still check against the player count? Or does it always let you back in? I can't remember if you told me...
If you get disconnected and you click reconnect, then I think it should ignore the player limit.
Okay.
Not sure if it... So.
Now, if anyone is getting any performance issues whatsoever right now, just be aware that the biggest... It's from my experience, again, if I'm ever wrong, guys, just correct me on this, but from my experience, it's been almost all of the lag that we see, like, in a factory this size is just based on the connections that are being made, and as soon as you guys put a player cap on it and restrict people from joining, the game just smooths right out. At least when it's a small factory. No performance issues at all. Everyone's talking. I love it. This is going to be massive. Yes, we have 2 hours, everyone. Get to work. Everyone, actually, we had some fun earlier. We did a biter base rush. We attacked with our pickaxes and stuff, which I wouldn't recommend. It doesn't work very well. But yeah. it did succeed. But you know, craft a few. If everyone could craft like 1 or 2 green science packs in their inventory right now, and then just take them towards the science area, we can knock out quite a bit of the good stuff early on that we're gonna need. And then beyond that, yeah, I mean, people are already doing ghost images for a bus, which I love. I love when I see that. It's so cool. And of course, we have the big iron crunch here in the beginning. Just find an iron spot, throw your stuff down. So, for me, guys, the plan, I actually plan on doing this at least once a week, if not twice a week for the next couple months. Just hosting a game, and what I'd like to do is actually do a persistent save. Doesn't necessarily need to be on your server, but I would love to do that if at all possible. But also, I mentioned earlier this afternoon that I've just found out I'm getting 1,000 megabit per second internet in 3 days, so my computer will probably be able to handle it.
Yep.
But yeah,
if you can handle it, then yeah, there's no limit to what you can do. And especially if we keep making optimizations and increasing the efficiency of the code and trying to
that is my favorite.
Design it in a way that will let you have more and more players, then it should be really good.
I love how you guys are so iterative in your design methodology. You know, you're always trying to make the game better, which is exactly like Factorio. It must be great to work for a game or work on a game that is like literally the same thing as the game itself. Like, just make it a little bit better. I just need to work on one more thing, and then I can go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's that one more turn syndrome. Oh, that's the first time I saw the server not responding. So, looks like we might be getting up there. How many do we have now? 355 online. And there's a big difference between /POC and just /PC, right? Player count is the total number of unique players who've connected to the game at any point in the save file's history. POC is the actual online count.
Yes.
Alright, one other thing I want to mention is I just want to make sure the factory that I saw built earlier this afternoon, it had to have been like 20 different rows of factory of furnaces. And just from my perspective, remember these 12 furnace layouts are designed for a single full yellow belt. So if you're going to do 20 furnace layouts, the actual feed of ore, you need at least 20 belts of ore. And we only went with like, I think it was like 4, 4, and 4. We had coal, iron, and copper. And it's not going to be enough. We need to have like 20 belts of iron ore planned if we're going to go that big right away. Okay.
This
Right.
problem that we had in the last factory was basically everybody wanted to build everything. So we had like 5 different science areas that were kind of spaghetti-like and not really coordinated. So I'm hoping that this run through will get more progress made, because we seem to have stalled kind of after oil, and it would be nice to see some cool progress going on.
Yeah. One thing I love is watching the iterative process. The very first one we did did quite a bit in a couple hours, but watching the difference between how this massive number of players, without any real prior direction, performed in the first stream versus, say, the second and then the third, it's like this evolving mass consciousness that's getting better. So yeah, if we
Swarm
could...
intelligence.
Definitely, absolutely. So if we could, I would just like to maybe make a statement here to hope to guide the consciousness. Like, we've already got some people who seem to have this natural tendency to work on power, right? Power just seems to happen now, automatically, which is great. We need to have people who focus on, like, I want to just make sure the factory has iron, and I want to make sure the factory just has copper, and like, you know, that can be your job for 2 hours if you really want to. It'd be amazing, but you don't have to. It's just like, we never can have enough, I guess is my whole point. Just because you finished one little iron mine doesn't mean we're going to have enough iron now, because it's not the same thing as a solo Factorio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
If
for
everyone
more
just
Marshall
does their little part, then the whole thing just comes together.
That's gorgeous. Yes,
With more Marshall among us, they can go and fight biters and maybe set up some turret production and ammo production as well.
yeah,
That'd be nice.
yeah, that's funny. That reminds me actually, like, of the Amass campaign that I did. You guys are familiar with
Oh, yes.
that name? Okay. I usually assume you've heard of it, but I don't want to be too presumptuous, so I thought I'd give you the opportunity to say, no, what's that? Never heard of it. But it reminds me of that because, like, Shen and Avak both seem to really like going after biters, and I hate it. Steejo and I are both like base dwellers, and there's certain players who they love the combat element, and they just like to go off and, you know, kill biters. So we need some of those, and we need some engineers, we need some circuit network guys, we need people who like trains, you know, we need a little bit of everything.
Yeah, all the different types of players. It just makes.
Okay, I'm seeing 374 players online. Did we ever get like a hard number for the actual online count from the second stream? What is the goal tonight?
Oh, I guess 400. I was hoping to break the record right now because now the map is getting bigger and I will start limiting the...
Yeah, oh my gosh, we have already explored so far.
Yeah, perhaps we should have made it a small starting area with maximum biters just to slow down the exploration.
Now, do you think having maximum biters, though, would have affected performance? Do you think the biters themselves cause much lag?
Really depends. Because the problem now is that the map's getting really big, and so the map transfer time is increasing quite fast. New chunks being generated all the time, and so in that way, it's not very good.
Mm-hmm. Now, did the server crash for you at all earlier this afternoon? Or, like, we're seeing the server is not responding on occasion now. Is it actually going to fully shut down, or just kind of stutter and stall a bit?
Well, now it's starting to stutter a bit. How
Yeah.
many are we now?
We've got, as far as I can tell, 383. Somebody keeps on shooting me, which is not very polite. Also, yeah, we're getting, you may be experiencing this little, like, rubber banding effect, where the server thinks you're in one place and you're not actually there, and it kind of like bands you, pulls you back to where you just were.
Yeah, that's part of when the buffer size of the ticks increases and decreases. It can cause this issue. You just drop some packets, and then the server thinks you're one place, your client thinks you're another place, and so we just have to set the client straight, and then from there on, everything should be good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh my god, the chat log. We're at 368 now. It looks like we've come down in players. I think people are getting disconnected from being unable to keep up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I think we reached the limit.
So about 385 or 383 was the actual online count that I saw. But if you guys are okay with that number, I think that for the sake of being able to enjoy this experience, maybe it is probably time to close the door, at least for a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are closing.
Oh my gosh, did it, okay, no, it didn't happen. I thought
Server
that maybe
not
it did.
responding message. No. Right.
Now, I had apparently made a little bit of a faux pas earlier, because I was like, oh, guys, I got a solution for you guys. We should use peer-to-peer connection, and apparently that was how Factorio used to work. But is there really, like, no method of peer-to-peer that could be used to try to help facilitate some of the data transfer here? I just feel like there's so many untapped connections available from all the other computers.
Well, it is possible to be done, but there are a lot of things that can be done, so we will probably leave it for later. I think that optimizing the game will help much now.
Oh my gosh, what settings did you use for map generation? The oil is ridiculous.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
decided to use lots of resources, so we
Yes.
don't expand as much.
Oh, okay. Trying to minimize number of discovered chunks.
Hmm.
That is a lot of oil. I don't think I've ever seen that many oil spots in one area. I noticed, this is curious, the smelting area is different than the previous streams. Instead of doing just a full row of furnaces, we've actually got electric poles between every two. Which works fine, but it's completely unnecessary. You can fit it. You can put them right next to each other if you want, but yeah, it's personal preference. It's just interesting to see that the entire thing was done this way because one person started it this way.
Hmm. Just like the one person plants the little seed and just sort of follows its own path.
I think a lot of people have a natural proclivity toward orderliness and perhaps symmetry, so they would want all the furnace setups to look similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it would definitely drive the OCD in most players nuts if like every other furnace setup was different. Would not
Indeed.
recommend. Okay, I am seeing the online player count now down to 328, which is still a remarkably high number to see the game running as well as it is.
Hmm.
Is the player cap set or?
I just put a password.
Okay. So if you're trying to join, just be aware that we are temporarily, most likely, not allowing others to join for the sake of server stability and getting a few things done here and there.
I'm afraid it might not be temporarily.
Okay.
I think we reached our limit. Now it's probably time to just enjoy the game.
Okay, that's fine with me. I've got an hour and a half, hour and 35
Oh.
minutes to build a crazy factory.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Get your
Servers.
setups on, build your smelters, build your oil.
Oh no,
Everyone do your thing.
the
See
servers.
how far we can get.
The green bar is almost at the end. No, communication with server failed.
No!
Okay, I need to go look up the password because. Okay, there it is. Okay, it's not going to show it, right? It's asterisk, I hope. Yes.
We can play, it works for me, fine.
Oh, user with your name is already in the game.
Yeah, just try a few times.
Okay.
Just wait a little while.
Oh, this is interesting. Somebody inserters backwards, and there is wood on the iron line. Wait.
Oh, that reminds me. It's stone on the iron line.
I think.
Now, I hope that isn't a new thing that people are doing.
I think what they're doing is they instead of using the JG Games thing with the splitter, they're and having the ore and coal going around the outsides of the furnace setup, they're putting it down the center. So it's
Oh, okay.
interesting.
I've
Getting a little confused, basically.
I've done that before. I've tried that. I mean, that one works. It's just that if you think about it, you're ending up spending an extra, usually a long-handed inserter on every furnace, where a regular yellow inserter can handle feeding ore and fuel. Like, you don't need to use 2 inserters. So to me, it just seems like a waste of resources to use 2, but...
Especially in the early game when your supply of iron and copper is quite low.
Mm-hmm.
So what if we plan for red belts from the start? That we don't do 12 furnaces in a row, but 24.
That's a good idea.
Could be done. Usually, at least for me, and again, this is just personal preference, but I usually never go past the 12. I would rather have 2 12 setups and feed them both to a single point and then upgrade to red there.
We also want to go for the CPU-friendly game, which means less belts that are faster.
Okay.
Because the game will get very, very laggy in like hour. So if we use red belts and bigger smelting setups, it might be better.
That's a good argument. All right, well, let's do it. In that case, if we're gonna go for fewer belts, then we shouldn't be using this smelting layout. We should be doing the layout where the furnaces are directly adjacent to each other. It's not much, but it's like an extra, what, 8-10 sections of belt on every furnace setup.
We just need to make them a little bit longer, but we're going to run into the ore patches above the main bus area at the moment.
I would argue that if resources are set to high and things are in the way, just ignore them. Like, we don't need all that stone. You know, it's well, who cares? It's just stone. It's not like it's a big iron patch.
So everyone who is building the furnace area, please just ignore the ore patches and build over them so we can have 24, is it 24 we're doing? 24 furnaces in a line, vertical line on each of these smelting area.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start building one with them adjacent and see if maybe we can morph this thing into a good one. The other thing I usually like to do these days is I like to have the output on one area, like in the center of it. For a while I used to do the output of furnaces to the outside, and then I would, do the little wiggle waggle to balance the lane. But then I realized you end up using more belt that way overall. Usually just do output toward the center. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In fact, we can cut down some of the double lanes of belts here into a single line, and that'll save us a whole line of belt, basically, on each smelting area.
The great thing about ghost images is that you can actually place most of them without even worry about people being in the way.
Right, awesome.
Because people usually are in the way. There's almost always somebody standing in where you want to be.
I think it's because they can't see what you're trying to place, so they don't know they're supposed to move, or,
Yeah.
I
I don't even have a single piece of belt to use for ghost images right now. There we go. All right, it's Exy who he there's the man. He's the man. He knows what he's doing. He's making it happen. EXXE. Good job. And then the way you do these power lines, you only need 3 sections, three power lines per area. And actually, you can make it cheaper if you. How quickly do you think we could get medium electric poles? We could use far fewer entities that way. Does the actual entity count? How does that affect performance?
The electric poles, they don't care. You don't care about the electric poles. They are not updated.
Okay, so
only things that get updated matter.
Okay.
So it's inserters that are doing something, belts, active belts.
okay, so
Fighters.
inserters that are just sitting don't matter. So what about, like, say, yellow inserters versus blue inserters? Do we care about, trying to use fewer inserters and just use the blue ones?
It's almost the same. It's almost the same.
Okay.
I mean, blue inserters, they are faster, so maybe it might be a little bit better, but I don't think that it's measurable.
Okay. So we're down to 251. We're actually already seeing some people lose their connection, probably due to the fact that the factory's growing so quick. I mean, let's check our production right now. We've got about 4,000 iron a minute already in 20 minutes.
Wow.
4,000 iron a minute.
Going well. Nice.
That is remarkable.
Right.
All right,
Everybody's
so
working together. I love co-op games because of that. That we're not all trying to shoot each other.
at least not yet.
Want to get banned.
Now, how did you guys handle moderation earlier today? Were you pretty strict with banning, or was it more of a not necessary? type thing.
I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think there were a lot of people griefing. It was really cool. Everybody was working together for the most part, anyway.
Okay, I need to find some wood so I can make some darn electric poles.
Good luck with that.
That, or if we could get that medium electric pole research, so we don't have to worry about deforestation. That'd be great. All right.
This is just like growing massively. So cool.
Okay. So I think we're gonna take off the password in a minute and set instead a player limit. So it's a bit more fair to people trying to join, but hopefully it will still be low enough that the game will be playable.
So, around the office, do you guys have like a multiplayer daily, like once a week? Do you guys get together and play Factorio, or do you, do you not really bring your work home with you, or how do you guys handle spare time?
Well, it's kind of hard these days because I basically wanted to have the multiplayer finished. Now instead of it being finished, we just want to improve and improve. And now it's 2 a.m. in the morning and we are still playing, so you can guess.
You don't get to sleep ever. That's the new...
Yeah, never, ever.
But before a major update, say like before we release 0.13, we did something like 2 weeks of playtesting. Like we come to the office, we play test, find some bugs, fix them, and then sometimes we go home and just continue playtesting. You know, we get invested in the maps. We just like get addicted to Factorio in the way that all the other players get addicted to it.
Oh yeah, I understand completely how that feels. I swear, I often will wake up with that Tetris effect, where it's like transport belts are moving in my brain overnight. And you wake up just thinking, why won't it stop? I was trying to sleep, and all I could think about was layouts and things moving.
Yeah, things like splitter ratios and different second network stuff. It just gets stuck in your brain.
Yeah. Although it is really nice when you come up with a solution that actually works, and then you go back into the game and you test it, and you're like, yes, it really works. It's a good idea.
I think those are the sort of special moments we aim for.
All right, so we need to get some fuel
Say,
over here.
the joy of all this rainbow of people running around just excitedly it makes it worth it for you guys.
I was trying to make this smelting setup my way, and I just can't win. So
Yeah.
I will just take some iron and make a new place. I will start a new.
Wait. That's what happened earlier, though. That was bad, I thought. Because people had like 6 sign setups, right? You gotta conform.
I don't
The
know.
hive mind is right. This reminds me, like it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I saw there was some swarm intelligence post on Reddit where they would like vote on like which sports team they thought was gonna win, and it was a swarm mentality type AI, and it was all human driven, right? But it was just a swarm of humans, and they would all kind of like pull their mouse, and depending on how many were pulling in one direction, it would kind of, whatever, it would force it, in a certain direction. They would use that swarm intelligence to make decisions. You just need to be more persuasive if you want to build your setup the way you want it. Get more people on your side. And the swarm, like, look at this. Like, I helped design one of these things, the 24 furnaces, and now look, there's like 15 of them now. It's crazy.
Oh, this is so cool. I'm looking on the overview map, and it looks like all of our soldiers are wearing red, and they're going up and killing the biters. It's like cool.
We should
It's
set
just
color
people
teams.
Oh, that's a
storming into an
great
army.
idea. So color, okay, how do you change your color easily without, it's not a console command that actually affects achievements, right? You can do that anyway?
It'd be /color and then the color you want to choose. So if you want to see them, I'm going to type it. You do /color help. I think like that. And it will show you all the available colors.
Okay. I said
So-
unknown color
No,
help.
It's not like that. Yeah.
Let's assign some colors. Red for attacking, blue for iron. What else?
Well,
Yellow
like
for
this.
copper.
green for observer, lazy man? Is that? No.
Green for tree chopping.
Help color. Okay, so type
Let's have blue
/help
for science.
color.
I see everyone is becoming a soldier now.
Red shirts die so we don't have to. I love it. Definitely red for So I want to be color. I guess I'm gonna choose green. I don't know what green means, but I'm green now. I love green. Green's a good color. And of course, if you really wanted to, could you do the more specific coloration command as well? Or is it just the
Not
generics?
with the commands disabled.
Okay, so just generic color changes only.
Yeah,
By the way,
there's
don't
12
write
colors.
any commands. We have commands enabled for emergencies, but don't use it if it's no emergency, so we have achievements.
For admins only, I assume.
Yes,
Yeah, I would
use-
assume. Otherwise, that would go away very quickly.
Yeah.
All right, someone's.
Oh, we have an army of red mining at one.
Okay,
one patch.
the smelting area, the 24 furnace setup. Anyone that's helping out with us right now, there's some craziness going on with electric poles. If you could please look at the one to the bottom right as a template. You need to. Here, I'm standing here. I'm in green. You just need to go like 1, 2, and then a third on the other side, and you go up a little bit. You go 1, 2, 3, and then after you've done 2 of those, you skip a section and then go up again, like this. And then there's a spot where the electric poles are not covering anything, but they don't need to cover anything because there's no inserters there. So if we just try to get them all right and pretty, the wires going everywhere is it's triggering me a little bit.
Oh yeah, the spider webs.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a hammock. You could take a nap up there. But once we get the layout right, I think people will get it. And then just carry it on down the line. If you see any mistakes, feel free to correct them. There we go. All right, cool. Looks like
I think we need quite that many furnace setups. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like continuing into the sunset.
yeah, I think we probably have enough for now. We should probably worry about getting some more iron on the belt. There's no iron ore to feed this thing. Now, I did some math earlier. It seems to me like in vanilla, which is of course what we're playing, a yellow belt can carry, I think it's what, 10... Is it 10 or 11 electric mining joules per side of the belt?
I have no idea on that one.
Oh no.
You know what? I'm going to do some math real quick.
Server not responding. No.
Factorio. Mining. Speed. It's the formula for mining speed. I've recently committed some of these numbers to memory, like yellow belt can carry 40 thirds items per second, right? It's 13.333, etc. per second, divided by 2 for 1/2 of each side of the belt. So if we take... Uh-oh, I've disconnected from the server while trying to do my math.
Something might have happened there.
Couldn't establish network connection with the server. I think we broke it. GG.
Yeah, I can't connect either.
Ooh,
GG.
server seems fine.
GG.
Seems fine, except for all the players who can't connect.
Oh, my console is not responding. We actually did explode the server.
All right, someone get on the horn with New York and yell at them.
Oh, and it was going so well.
Yeah.